Okay, in this video we'll continue with some more real life examples where we need to divide decimals, and we'll have wages with overtime, a phone bill, and GPA, and if something happened, how much would the GPA increase by, right? Wages and overtime. Suppose a person makes this amount in 1 week. If she or he is paid $9.45 an hour for the first 40 hours, and then $14.20 per hour for each additional hour, overtime hours. How many hours overtime was recorded? Okay. So she paid this amount for the first 40 hours. What do you think we should do to work this thing out? What should step 1 be? What could your first step be? You couldn't you first take the 9.45 and multiply that by 40, right? And that would tell you how much they got paid in the regular amount of time, wouldn't it? So go ahead and do that. 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 4 is 0, 0 times that is 0. Put a 0 in for a placeholder. 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 2 is 18. Carry the 1. 4 times 9 is 36. 36 and 1 is 37. 0, 0, 8, 7, 3. And where's my decimal point go? Well, we've got 1, 2 in the question, so 1, 2 in the answer. So 378.00 or 378. Interesting. So the point is, if you worked 40 hours at $9.45 per hour, you would get 378. So that would be the regular wage with no overtime. So how much money overtime? How would you calculate how much money the person got for the overtime alone? Because they got all that all together, right? This is the amount in the regular, from the regular 40 hours, and this is the overtime. So how do you calculate the overtime money? Don't you go 505.80 subtract 378, right? And when you're subtracting decimals, remember to keep the decimal point underneath each other, right? So 0 minus 0 was 0, 8 minus 0 was 8. Decimal point here. This no, I need a 1 here. I need this becomes what am I doing? This becomes a 4. Bring a 1 over, and then that becomes a 9 because I need a 1 over here, and that's 15. Sorry, 15 minus 8 is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2, and 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay. So I have 127.8 overtime hours, or overtime dollars, right? Overtime dollars. And each overtime dollar is paid at a rate of $14.20 per hour. So how many overtime hours do we get? What are we going to do to calculate the overtime hours? Shouldn't we do 14.20 into 127.80, right? This divided by this. Wouldn't that give you the amount of overtime hours? In other words, 14.20 times what would give this? So you go this into this, right? But you've got a decimal place in the divisor, so you must move that decimal point, over 2 places to the right, and also over here, right? And okay, you get, you know what? Do I even need to go that far? No, I just need to go as far as over here, don't I? Just to the right of the 2, and same here, right? So I can just get 142 into 1278, right? So go ahead and do this division. Alright, let me see. Take a guess. Well, 10 of these would be 1,400, wouldn't it? About. This times 10 would be 1,400. This is 1,200. I'm going to guess 9, see what happens. 9 times 2 is 18, carry the 1. 9 fours is 36, and 36 and 1 is 37. Carry the 3. 9 ones is 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 and 3 is 12. And then subtract. Remainder 0. So, this into this gave me 9. And what is that? What type of unit is that? Is that dollars? People? Or what? It's 9 hours, isn't it? 9 hours of overtime is the answer. Yep. And of course, you know, if you wanted to check it, you could, because look at 1420 times 9 should give the overtime amount. 0, 8, carry the 1, 9 fours is 36, 1 is 7, carry the 3, 1 9 is 9, and 3 is 12. See, it does. It gives 127.80. It gives the amount of money you got from overtime, right? Let's have a look at a phone bill. Suppose a telephone company charges 38 cents for the first 2 minutes and then 27 cents for each additional minute. If a call costs $4.27, how many minutes did it last? How are you going to figure this guy out? See if you can make a stab at it. You know, by all means press pause and try and do it yourself, and then check the video, right? Okay, let's see. I would first look at this amount for the first 2 minutes, and then that amount for each additional minute. How many minutes did the call last altogether? Okay, well, for the first 2 minutes, okay, let's try that. How about this? 0.38 multiplied by 2. That would be the amount of money you spent on the first 2 minutes, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be the amount of money in the first 2 minutes? So 2 8s is 16, carry the 1. 2 3s is 6, and 1 is 7. 2 zeros is 0. And there are 2 decimal places in the question, so 2 in the answer. So 0.76 was spent in the first 2 minutes. So how much money was spent on the rest of the minutes? So this is the first first 2 minutes, and now we're going to look at the additional minutes. And to get that, we need the additional amount. So we take the total amount, don't we? And we subtract what? 76 cents, right? So 7 minus 6 is 1. This turns into a 3, carry the 1. 12 minus 7 is 5. 3 minus 0 is 3. So $3.51 was spent on the additional minutes, right? Because look, 2 minutes at 38 cents. That's 76 cents for the first 2 minutes, and then we spend $3.51 on the additional minutes. And the additional minutes cost 27 cents each, and $3.51 was spent on it. So how many minutes were there? In other words, 27, you've got to go 27 times what? How many minutes? Gives us $3.51, right? In other words, if I do a division, what sort of a division could I do? I could go 0.27 into 351, couldn't I? And that would give me the answer, right? But I would have to move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right. So 27 into 351, right? So 27 into 35 goes 1 time. 127 is 27, then subtract, and I get 8. Bring this one down. 27 into that, I'm going to guess 3 times. 3 sevens is 21. Put down the 1, carry the 2. 3 twos is 6 and 2 is 8. Subtract, remainder 0. Okay, so how many additional minutes? I went 0.27 times 13 apparently gives $3.51, right? Because 13 is the answer to this division. 13 minutes. Okay. So we've got first 2 minutes and then 13 additional minutes. So that's 15 minutes total. How'd you get that? First 2 minutes. 2 plus the 13 additional minutes gives 15 minutes total, doesn't it? So they might ask you for the total minutes. If they ask you for the additional minutes, the answer would be 13. If they ask you for the total minutes, the answer would be 15, right? Because you'd add the 2, right? Okay, we're going to look at GPA now. And here's how GPA works. You've got a class, let's say math. It's a 5-credit class. If you get a B in it, if you get a B, you're going to get 3 points per credit. And it's 15 credits. Remember, a B is worth 3. A C, by the way, is worth 2, and an A is worth how much? An A is worth 4. Okay. So the grade points you get from the 5-credit math class at a B is 5 times 3, 15. Okay. The grade points you get from the English class, which is 3 credits, and you got a grade of C. That's 3 times 2, 6. The grade points you get from art, it's worth 4 credits, and you got a grade of A, so that's 4 points per credit. So you go 4 times 4, I got 16 points. So in all you got 15 points from math, you got 6 points from English, and you got 16 points from art. And if you add all these up, you get your total amount of points. Okay, so add them all up, see what you get. 5 and 6 is 11. 11 and 6 is 17, carry the 1. 1 and 1 is 2, and 1 is 3. 37 points, right? How many credits? 5 and 3 is 8. 8 and 4 is 12. So 12 units or 12 credits, whatever you want to call it. So the grade point average, or better also known as your GPA, okay, your GPA is equal to your total points over your total credits. Total points is 37, total credits is 12. How are you going to calculate that? I'm afraid we'll have to use long division, right? With decimals. So it's 12 into 37. Please press pause and do it yourself and then check the answer. Okay. Now, you might need to put 0.000 onto that, at least, and see how you go. Okay, 12 into that goes 3 times. 3 times 12 is 36. Subtract, and we get 1. And this 0 comes down. Now, this is an interesting one because, okay, the decimal point has to go up here, right? But look at this. 12 into 10 goes how many times? 0 times. 0 times 12 is 0. Subtract 0, and I get 10 again. Bring this 0 down, I have 100. Isn't that weird? 12 into 100 goes, I think it goes 8 times. 2 8s is 16. Carry the 1. 1 8 is 8 and 1 is 9. Subtract. 100 minus 12 is 4. And bring the 0 down. And 12 into 40 goes 3 times. And 3 times 12 is 36. And you can keep going. Okay. But we usually like to round the GPA to the nearest hundredth, to this digit. So am I going to round up or down? Okay. So what I got, of course, is 3.083, and if you kept going, you would actually find that that's 333, keeps going. But we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth, so that's going to round to 3.08, right? Because this next digit is a 3 and you round it down, right? Now, let me ask you this last question. If an A was earned in English instead of a C, how much would the GPA increase by? Okay? So what I'm going to do is imagine that instead of the C for English, I actually got an A. So if I got an A for English, an A is worth 4 points, right? So this guy would be 3 times 4, which would make him 12, right? So my GPA would be total points over total credits, or units, which this time it is 5 and 2 is 7, and 7 and 3 is 13, carry the 1, and that's 43 points altogether over the 8 and 4, 12, right? And so this time I divide 12 into 43. Well, the 43 goes 3 times 36, subtract 7, bring a 0 down, 12 into that goes 5 times. 5 times that is 60, subtract and I get 10. Bring a 0 down, 12 into that goes 8 times, and I get 96, subtract, and I get 4, bring that down, 0, and that goes 3 times. The decimal point goes up here. Okay, so you do long division, and this, I'm just doing it really quick so you can see. But this, you know, gets to be approximately to the nearest hundredth, okay, the nearest hundredth, it is approximately 3.58. Now, how much, if an A was earned in English instead of a C, how much would the GPA increase by? Well, I got 3.08. If I got an A in English, my GPA would now be 3.58. Okay. So how much would it increase by? Let's see. I'm going to take my 3.58 and I'm going to subtract 3.08, right? I get 0, 5, 0. It would increase by 0.5, wouldn't it? And you might have seen that right off the bat. But it would increase by 0.5 if you got an A in English instead of a C, right?